right, welcome back to the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show. It is time now to talk about the Bleacher Report's rankings. You know, that's what you do in the summer. You're talking about
rankings, baby.
Mythical rankings, because that's all we have. You know, it's
and we went from triplets to big threes.
Yeah, that's right. So there is a trend there. Bleacher Report has the Cavs' big three, which of course is Mitchell, Harden, and Mobley.
And unlike the Browns, we don't expect it to be near the bottom of the list.
No, we expect this one to be near the top.
Yeah.
They actually have them at number 4.
Huh.
Here's the rankings right there.
Okay.
Are you guys okay with that group? Do you think the Cavs should be higher or lower if you're not?
They can't be higher, right?
I don't think they could be higher. I actually think they should be 1 or 2 spots lower. They only did a top 5.
The Sixers is Embiid, Brown, and
Maxey.
I guess I'd rather have that 3.
And you're banking on Embiid's health at that point.
Yeah.
If Embiid's healthy, I think it's slightly better than the Cavs.
But I think when you make a list like this, you got to just assume
you're assuming everybody's a full strength.
right.
The one interesting caveat with the Cavs in this instance is they don't have James Harden right now.
No, they
that's
don't.
true.
Technically,
not a Cav.
now he was included in their big 3. I didn't put their names on.
Okay, take him out, put LeBron in. Where are they now?
I still think they're in the right spot.
They're
4 or 5. I don't think that necessarily.
Well, but you think they're lower? They should be lower.
I think they're 5 right
Who's
now.
6?
All right, what if we stretched it to the big 4? What if we stretched it to the big 4 and LeBron comes in there? I mean,
who's the Knicks, Spurs, and Thunder's 4?
So with the Knicks, they had Cat, Brunson, and OG. And as a 4th, you would probably add in, they lost Mitchell Robinson. Josh Hart would be their 4th. With San Antonio, you add,
pretty good 4th.
You add De'Aaron Fox to Castle.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know that LeBron is that much better than those guys at this point.
To the Thunder, you add in.
I think he is.
They had SGA, Jalen Williams, Chet, and then probably Hartenstein or Kason Wallace.
Now that,
choice.
if it was a big 4 with LeBron, you might move up to 3 over the Thunder. No? There's a pretty big difference between Hartenstein and LeBron.
Yeah, but SGA is the number 1 or 2 player in the league versus the Cavs who don't have any guy in that.
Whereas, I don't know, is there a huge, at this point, how big a difference is there between Josh Hart and LeBron? Is it
I mean,
huge
I would take LeBron.
No. Obviously, you take LeBron.
Yeah, but
I'm just saying, how big is that gap?
It's big. I think it's big, but it's not massive.
Yeah.
But I think it's a no-brainer. LeBron's better.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I wasn't trying to argue that any of these 4th guys were better than LeBron. I'm just saying, it used to be he would have been a million times better than any 4th guy. Now he's just.
Now Josh Hart's the perfect role player. LeBron James can be a.
Although it's not really fair because LeBron wouldn't be there 4.
No, he wouldn't.
LeBron would be there 2.
LeBron would be 2, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he's their second,
he's
he's better than Evan Mobley still.
If you added in the 76ers 4th guy, it'd be BJ Edgecombe. But I think, if you want to argue 4 or 5, it's like we argue it's 32 versus 30.
Who do you think would be 6 if they had made a top 10?
Throw that back up, Ant.
Well, let's think about the better teams in the NBA that aren't on here. Denver?
Denver was the first one that comes to mind.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because that'd be Jokic,
what
Jamal
about Minnesota?
Murray, Cam Johnson, and then Christian Braun. Minnesota, you got LaMelo, Anthony Edwards, Gobert.
I mean, could you argue Minnesota should be ahead of the Cavs or no?
Minnesota's pretty good.
Your big 3 of LaMelo, Anthony Edwards, and either Gobert or Jaden McDaniels, that is a really
Is that better than the Cavs? Now?
It's a higher upside, but LaMelo's hurt a lot.
Yeah,
he's coming off a great season.
But again, I think you got to leave injuries out of it. To me,
I know what's funny to me about that is 3 of the 5 are in the East.
And I think probably 6, 7, and 8
that doesn't match the
West.
power structure of the NBA right now.
What's Indiana with what's his name back?
Halliburton, Zubac, and Siakam. That
a
could
pretty
be in
good
the
one too.
conversation. Yeah,
that's a good one.
What about Detroit? No, because
they don't really have a third guy. I mean, the Lakers, if you want to go Luka, Austin Reeves, and Walker Kessler, they just traded.
I can't have a 3 white guy group.
Say, hey, Steven. Hold it there.
I'm kidding.
You don't like the Snowtime Lakers?
Snowtime
Lakers. Calling
Such
them?
a great nickname.
That is good.
God.
That is good. The Snowtime Lakers.
It is good.
That is
Stephen
funny.
A doesn't like him. I can tell you that.
Who else would be in that conversation?
What about Miami?
Giannis,
yeah, Miami. You got to put Miami in there.
Giannis, Bam, and Andrew Wiggins.
By the way, how impressed are you that I'm coming up with these ahead of you?
Well, I'm scouring all. I mean, you have the Raptors if you want with Kawhi.
Well, he's not there though. Is that trade going to happen?
Yeah, and what's going on with that trade?
Well, he's just as much there as Harden is with the Cavs if we're counting Harden.
I guess so. Yeah, I guess so. But if the NBA blocks that trade,
but we know Harden is eventually going to be a Cav for sure. I don't know that. Do we know that with Kawhi?
Well, if you don't count him, you put him back in the Clippers, and you got Darius Garland, Kawhi, and
get out of here.
Garland doesn't count.